Hi, welcome back. I'm now going to continue from part 1 of this tutorial on the use of UVW Map Modifier and show you how you can use it to apply almost any images to the floor and the wall of a house. In this case, applying tiles to the floor and wallpaper. So, let's bring up some material. And this is just stuff I brought down from searching on the web. First of all, let me select the floor of this indoor room, and I'm going to apply a tile to it. I'll then select the two internal walls and apply the wallpaper to that. And let's do a quick render and see how that comes out. Well, that doesn't look very good. We have a single tile on the floor and the wallpaper is all out of proportion. So, let's fix the floor first of all. Select that plane. Select the UV modifier. And if you remember from the last tutorial, the U and the V's reflect X and Y, and they're going to use these to replicate the tiles across the floor. So I'm going to set U to 8 and V to 5. And if we now render this scene, yeah, the floor's starting to look more like a tiled floor. So next we have to sort out the walls. However, if we try to introduce another UVW map modifier, it will corrupt the first one. So we now have to collapse this one to embed it. And by right clicking on UVW map, collapse all, click yes, and now that map is embedded into the object. Now let's select the two walls and apply a UVW map modifier to that. Click U, select UVW map. And you will notice this time that we're always leaving it to default to planar because we are only working on simple flat surfaces. If I render this scene, you will see that both walls look very peculiar. But let's work on the largest wall first of all. Go up to the UVW map modifier, click on the plus line to get to the gizmo. As you can see, the gizmo is highlighted by this yellow box. If we press E on the keyboard, it will now allow us to rotate this. But to ensure we rotate it sensibly, let's go up here and click on the percentage snap toggle. And we then watch what's happening in the top frame up here. As I rotate this, you can see it's starting to line up, and in the perspective view the image is appearing. So I'm just watching that top view till the two yellow lines merge, and if we now look down here in perspective view, this large wall looks pretty good. So let's do a render on that. That's not bad at all. But the scale still isn't quite right, so let's just keep a copy of that for a moment. Let's close that view, and we'll come down here, and again we'll play with the U and the V tiles. So let's set U in this case to 3 and V to 2. If I now do another render, yeah, in comparison between the two, this is beginning to look more like what the wallpaper would be on that wall. So, happy with that one. We now have to focus on the very last wall. But before we can do anything with the last wall, once again we have to collapse the stack to embed that UVW map. Collapse all, click yes, and that's embedded. Now let's select the last wall. So on the last wall, once we've selected it, once again we can actually apply a UVW Map Modifier. Now instantly we can see something has appeared, and if we render, it doesn't look too good. So let's go on to the gizmo, and to give the gizmo some dimensions other than a single line, which is what we have here, let's type in 60. It could be anything you like, but it certainly gives the gizmo a box shape we can see. Now we can rotate this to 90 degrees, but once again make sure you do have the percentage snap toggle, otherwise you'll never get this very accurate, and you can watch what's happening in the top view. So I'm now going to rotate this gizmo through 90 degrees, and you can see the image is starting to appear properly, although maybe not in the right direction. There we go. So we now have it there, but the wallpaper is going the wrong way. We now got to rotate that image 90 degrees, and if we click on here, start to see it coming through, and I'm watching in the various views so that I can line this up accurately. Render once more. Looking pretty good, but the scale according to the other wall is out. So let's change this to 1.5, as I made the main wall 3 units wide, and it's twice the size here, so this one would be 1.5. Let's do another render, and there we go. So we now have, just using 2 simple images, a floor with tiles on it and the walls properly papered. So good luck with trying it out yourself.